Yeah, welcome to our 11th powwow session, the GDTA powwow. Welcome all of you here on the Zoom call and welcome all of you on the YouTube live stream, which we do all the time. Thank you very much for joining. My name is Uli Weinberg. I'm the director of the School of Design Thinking in Potsdam. And we do this session here in cooperation with the Global Design Thinking Alliance. And I'm really happy to welcome our friends from Mexico today. You know, before we start, I think Steffi can show us some netiquette slide, which I see very small here, but now it's a little bit larger. Yeah, so this is a session which is planned to be a 1 hour session. So we'll have about half an hour, maybe a little bit more of the presentation of our friends around Alejandro Rodriguez from Mexico, from Tec de Monterrey. And please, you feel free to use the chat, raise your hand while they're talking. Probably just use the chat, and also hide non-video participants during their presentation so that we just see the 3-4 presenters we have today, and please switch off your video and microphone during the presentation. That makes it a lot easier for all of us here. And choose between the speaker view and the gallery view, which you find in the upper right corner of your Zoom window. So that is my welcome here, and I have the pleasure to present now Alejandro Rodriguez and Naira Mendoza, Baltazar, Alvarado, and Randall Coffey. They are all representing design thinking activities at the Tec de Monterrey. And we'll start with their presentation. Then there is about half an hour of Q&A session open. At that time, you are welcome to switch on your camera again. And then we close the session at 5 o'clock officially, and we stop the YouTube live stream, but then it will still be possible to stay together. I hope our friends from Mexico have a little bit more of time. At their place, it's either 9 or 7 in the morning, because we have guests from 2 different time zones in Mexico. So they are hopefully willing to stay a little bit longer for somehow a fireside chat if there are questions, and usually they are. So that is the part of my welcome. You saw a little bit in the trailer, you saw some pieces of video, small pieces of video. This is what I shot when I was in Mexico, when I met first time Alejandro Rodriguez in Guadalajara. At that time, he was at the campus in Guadalajara, and he was running a thing which he called the Design Thinking Workshop. And what impressed me most was not the Design Thinking workshop, which you presented me. It was actually that the mindset of design thinking was already visible and feelable in the whole university. And I got a tour, and you saw those pictures where you saw incredibly big, large prototypes done by student teams. And what is happening right now, and Alejandro, you'll talk about that and you will introduce your colleagues, is that this large university with more than 80,000 students is in a kind of redesign process, also driven by design thinking. And I'm really impressed what you did through the past years. And I'm really eager to see what is coming out through the next years and how that will change the whole university campus arena. So please welcome together with me Alejandro and Randall and Naira and Baltazar. Alejandro Rodriguez, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Uli. Hello everyone. I wanted to begin with a presentation. I want to share some of us. And first, we want to talk about we are last university. We have we are the main university, the first university, private university in Mexico. We have around 26 campuses in Mexico, around more than 90,000 students, more than 10,000 professors, and we have almost 600 agreement with international university to exchange of our students. So this is the university that we are working in design thinking. So in around 2 years ago, we launched our Tech 21 is our educational model. And this educational model is focused to challenges, and challenges that are going to develop competencies in our students, to develop the challenges or the challenge or opportunities that we're going to have in this century. And we want to be our students be more sensitive of the environment, think a system, have a systematic vision, and solve problems with using the competencies we're going to develop in them. And now we have here and for our students the ability to identify opportunities, seek resource, take risks, and recover from the failure. This is how we can apply design thinking. Here's the part of our educational model that we're looking to apply more this kind of mental mode of thinking that going to help to our students. Do this, we create a design thinking initiative. In the design thinking initiative, we begin in the year of 2011, something like this, 11 or 16. And we begin with thinking how we can use this kind of thinking around not only in our School of Design and Architecture and Arts, only to try to apply in all the different disciplines that we have in the university. And we begin with this initiative. It was supported with our main director is Maria Adriana in that time, and is Roberto Iñiguez, and is follow us here with us. And we begin with these activities that we are focusing to develop our professors and our different tools to apply design thinking in the university. After that, we begin with our vision. Our vision is to identify as a group of national collaborators to help Tec de Monterrey and companies to solve present and future problems using design thinking. So with this mission, we're going to following to do a lot of activities and develop our professors. With this challenge, we have a different knowledge about design thinking. A lot of professors know what is design thinking, but don't have a formal training. So we begin with this. We create a certification, internal certification for professors to do design thinking. So we have 4 levels in design thinking. We begin with the beginners of design thinking, that is people that is really interested to learn design thinking, and then use some tools, and they need help to increase the knowledge of design thinking. This is the first level that we begin with our professors. In the second level, we begin with the instructor of professor, that is professors that can teach design thinking. They can teach with companies, and we can teach to the students what is design thinking. After that, we have the level 3, then we have the consultants, that is advice or mentor for design thinking in project into companies and project internal of the Tec de Monterrey. And they obviously is to an instructor. And the masters, they create strategies and how we can apply design thinking, how we can develop new programs for design thinking, and we are make it in place it in all Mexico and in different campuses than we are participating now. After that, we identify a core team. A core team that is main focus on how we can apply design thinking in different campuses in national ways, in national way with the aim to ensure the quality of what we are doing as institution. And we have here with Randall. Randall is a professor from Guadalajara. He's now focused really in one phase specific in design thinking, this application, and really focus on what we can apply the project of design thinking. Baltasar is focusing now he's based in Hermosillo in the north of Mexico. Now he's part of the experience of design thinking is in prototyping and how we assess the prototyping with the users. Abraham de la Rosa is focused he's now placed in Guadalajara. He's focused on empathy, and he interviewed a lot of participants and ensured that all our students, our project and we are doing with design thinking is adequately approximated with empathy. And Naira Mendoza is really focused on creativity and innovation, and she is focused on how we can apply the different tools of creativity to ensure that our projects is follow this core of design thinking. Okay, so now I'm going to share with my screen with Naira, and she's going to share us something about our method that we are following in the Tec de Monterrey. Naira.
Thank you, Alex. Okay, hi. Sorry. For the application of design thinking as an innovation tool at Tecnológico de Monterrey, we have adapted the methodology to 4 stages: inspiration, development, evaluation, and application. With these 4 stages, we cover all the relevant activities of design thinking, such as empathy, creativity, prototyping, and testing with potential users. But to facilitate the work in each stage, we have developed a set of canvas, one for each of the 4 stages. For example, in the stage 1, inspiration, we focus on research activities and seek approach with potential users to know the problems firsthand. We use tools like ethnographic interview, polls, shadows, safaris, or card, etc. Once the relevant findings about the users have been identified, we work on identifying patterns that we can then transform on insights and guidelines that trigger the creative thinking. In stage 2, okay, the development phase, we start from the guidelines we identified in the previous phase to generate creative solution ideas. At this stage, our students can learn creativity techniques to trigger the lateral thinking or creative thinking, techniques such as random stimulus, brainwriting, scamper, challenge to logic, metaphors, among others. When we have enough simple ideas, we work on compound ideas and prioritize them to then prototype the best ones. In the stage 3, evaluation, we work on the development of low and medium fidelity prototypes to give a physical form to the ideas and to be able to evaluate its acceptance with a potential market. Prior to the test, we define the user profile to be asked and the information technique and the information collection techniques and the metrics to measure the success of the idea. During the first evaluations, we promote the development of the prototype of the 2 best ideas instead of just one. This is a stage of constant iteration of ideas. And finally, in the stage 4, application, okay, in this stage, an implementation plan for the winning ideas is developed once the prototyping and testing process has passed. Success metrics are defined and obstacles and benefits are analyzed. Also, we identify potential partners, work team, and the capabilities required for a successful implementation. With with the use of these 4 canvases, we can easily and dynamically focus design thinking exercise for our students and our clients. So I'm going to pass the control to Walter he's going to explain us about activities.
Thank you, Naira. Hello, everyone. Well, we have been developing many activities at Tech. Sorry, I'm having troubles. In which, well, the first of them, it's apply directly to a strategic pillar we have here in Tec de Monterrey that it's called Design for Value, in which we are looking to reach innovation and transformation in different organizations, institutions, and sectors among design. And this, we make it through the implementation of our of design thinking in our model called Idea Tech or Idea Tech. And well, what is the first impact for and design for value? It's that we can make innovation and transformation processes guided by design, either around existing problems through the identification of current and future opportunities, or with the entrepreneurship projects. And we achieve this through the implementation of this model we have been taking through. And the other important component or activity we have been through, it's around executive education. It consists of training programs, and one of them is training for people through programs open to the general public, in which trainings on basics principles of design thinking and internal certifications in design thinking are offered. And the first one, the design thinking basics, we use the 4 canvases Naira just already mentioned. And in the second one, the internal certification, we apply an assessment of design thinking competences to validate that the participants can reach all the goals and all the knowledge to apply the methodology. The other format, it's training for organizations that we've been making through, in which we offer training in a format that we call design thinking cells, on the one hand, which consists of forming teams from different participating organizations to solve an internal challenge through advice and mentoring by expert design thinker. And finally, we have tailor-made training. Depending on the needs of the organizations, within the training for organizations, we have provided training for companies such as Ford, Audi, Continental, Rotoplas, Ecopetrol, Enel, among others. And finally, on the other hand, we have making an impact among our students. We provide training for them through different programs. Among them, we have one of them that is the ULEAD diploma, that it's standing out, which is a training program for leaders that seek to enhance the capabilities and capacities of high-performance students at Tec de Monterrey, generating in them a greater sense of personal and professional fulfillment. And additionally, in this program, we seek to develop different soft skills in our students. And there is a modality called Semester Tech, or Semestre Tech in Spanish, in which students, through multidisciplinary teams, solve a challenge throughout the entire semester, and they are being advised and mentored by a teacher classified as design thinker. And finally, in turn, we have different academic programs in which we implement the Idea Tech methodology and our model to increase the degree of innovation in the results of their projects of each of our students. And now I'm gonna pass the word to my friend Randall.
Thank you, Walter. Let me see if I have the control. I think I do. There it goes. Okay, let me go back. Good. So I'm going to be talking about the spaces, the physical spaces we have to promote this inside our different campuses. We have several spaces, but I'm going to focus mainly right now on Campus Guadalajara, but we are expanding. We have also in Santa Fe, we have in Sinaloa, and also in Hermosillo, where Balta is at, we have some spaces. But basically, I want to start with a layout, and I want to be very emphatic in the fact that this particular design thinking workshop that you see here in the layout is right in the heart, in the middle of what we call our building for project-oriented learning activities for engineering, architecture, because we think that it combines all these areas through a space that can align the tasks at hand. The space in itself, I'm not going to go too deep in the layout, but the important here is that we have an open area on the left side and we have an indoors area, and they are flexible, so we can open flexible walls and be connected. And in my presentation, I will be very specific on the areas. Let's start now with the first area, indoors. Okay, the first part is el trueque, we call it in Spanish. That's the area where inspiration starts, the first letter of idea, tech methodology. Here, what we try to do is individually or in couples or in teams, through the furniture we design in the space where we have a projector, we have also boards, all type of boards with wheels, chairs with wheels, tables with wheels, so we can reorganize and have the people really working aligned to the task that they have at hand. But here in inspiration, we focus on empathy to go in depth and be very focused in understanding and defining the problem. That's el trueque part. And there we also start, as Naira said, with the part of creative thinking, to start also thinking once you have the opportunity defined or opportunities to start thinking on creative possible solutions. Let's go next. This is okay. One back. The material wall is the second space that we go to. There we talk about development. Here in development, we're using the creative techniques to get to the best possible solutions, but also at the same time, we start with a phase of going into the rapid prototyping, where we can see and learn more about not only the individual ideas, but also the compound ideas that we got through the insights of the opportunity that we found. The next area we have, oops, I don't know what I did wrong, is our war room. We can go one back. Something is wrong here. I have someone moving. Okay, one back, please. I thought I had a control. Okay, so the war room is the third letter of our methodology, the E of evaluation. Here is where iteration starts with the users and or representative groups of diverse stakeholders. This is a space where we can receive feedback and start then aligning our prototypes to a more final prototype that can be presented in the last phase or evaluated in the last phase, which is the phase of application. The think tank zone. If you look at the area has furnitures that are a little bit more formal, but not heavy, sturdy, to be moved around. So here in this area, in this space, we can review the feasibility, see if the possible solutions are aligned with the strategic plan, or if the technology available is the right one and the specific one for that type of solution, and choose one. But at the same time, we also review the viability, the business plan of the solutions presented, and then choose the final solution. Now, this is then the 4 areas we have, and I would like to also present the open area, just quick. The open space is a space where we can socialize, which is very important, and also for team building. We get the teams to work together very fast and put them to action. And sometimes it's important, and we have experienced it, to work a little bit on team building activities to get the teams more aligned and to get them to realize that we all are different observers. And thanks to that, we can give different insights and different inputs and be more creative and give more amazing solutions. And finally, I just want to close with this summary of pictures. This on the left-hand side, you can see the Guadalajara Design Thinking Workshop, which is a space to invite people to be more creative, take them a little bit of the comfort zone. And on the right-hand side, we see one of the new design thinking workshops we are working on in Campus Santa Fe in Mexico City. Now I'll give back the control to Alex so we can go to the last part of our presentation.
Amazing, Randall. Thank you. And I only going to back to the last slide. Here in Mexico City, we are building a new space in one part of the city. Another part of the city, we are building another space, and it's really important for the Tec de Monterrey have this kind of space to help our students to understand better the way how we can learn for the users, we can make some great solutions using creativity, and how we can build prototype with this solution, and final look for the feedback of the users. This process is really important for our students, for our Tech 21 model. So for this reason, we are focused now to how we can find new spaces in different campuses than we have in all Mexico, to have this kind of experience with our students and professors. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're going to do in the next year, in the end of this year, in the next year, and we're going to keep developing more design thinkers. For why this is important for us, because as I said, we are a huge university. We need more people to working as design thinkers like professors, and design thinkers like students. Other objective that we have is to bring design thinking experience in the classroom. How we can make our design thinking work spaces, how we can translate this in classroom, and maybe to have some experience in the students, because our design thinking workshops are not so many. So we need to improve this experience to bring to the classroom. Other time we need to continue developing now, we are beginning now, is how we can create academic credential program to design thinking and innovation to all our students, for all the campus, for all our programs. So this is a challenge that we're going to we are working in that, and we need like a year to ensure that we have our first prototype of this program, and to ensure that a student and professor have a really good experience to multiply this solution across all the campus in Mexico. And the next one, and he's really important for us, is how we can apply design thinking like in a practical way into Tec de Monterrey strategic initiative that we are working in the next 5 and 10 years, to ensure that this kind of mindset going to help the Tec de Monterrey to solve the present and future problems. That is part of our vision, like design thinking initiative. So this is what we do in the Tec de Monterrey in design thinking. So we are really glad to hear your question or read it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Alex and Naira and Balthazar and Randall for your contribution here. And you made it actually on time. It's 4:30 here, so perfect timing. So we have another half hour for Q&A. Really, really impressive what you are doing. And let me have a look here on the chat. And now please, to all of you who like to show their videos, please switch on your video. We want to see who is here, who is live here. I see also welcome. Lucky in India is there again. Great. We have others from also obviously from Mexico. And Maria Jose, welcome. Thanks for the playlist here. And I think you know most of our speakers here. Yeah, so please feel free to ask questions or to have comments. Christine Palmer, how do you get leadership to invest in this mindset and these spaces? Very, very good question. And especially a very good question, because when I'm listening to you guys, and you started about, in 2011, you were saying you started slowly but surely to implement design thinking. We started 2007 at the Hasso-Plattner Institute. And I don't see that kind of impact yet at the HPI as you have in the large organization and the HPI is just 600 students, not 90,000. It's a different. So how do you get leadership to invest in this mindset?
Yeah, I guess we have a really good support, and we have our VP in that moment, and we begin in Guadalajara. And other B1 support is our dean is Roberto Íñiguez, and they support this kind of initiative across all Mexico. This is they are really convinced of design thinking, and they support all this kind of initiative or the new buildings, new spaces for training for people to travel when we need to travel, or to support all this academic development that we are doing, is do the leadership of our people, and we are working together. And maybe here is Roberto Íñiguez. Maybe he can share with us some of this thinking about how we are supporting the design thinking in the Tec de Monterrey.
Oh, thank you, Alex. Good morning from Mexico. Good afternoon for some of you. Thank you for the opportunity. Just to mention that for us is central, is crucial, all this initiative of design thinking, since the vision of our university for the 2030 includes 4 pillars, and one of them is to understand ourselves as innovation ecosystems. For being less, let's say, a closed university, this idea of campus that work like a bubble in the middle of a city, and more as a part of the community, and one of the actors that could create innovations along with all the stakeholders of our regions. So in this transit, in order to get into the 2030, we are taking several steps as initiative, and one of them is this idea of using design as a process where we can all get together. I mean, the stakeholders and the actors of the territory, the disciplines, and academia, research, students, etc. So more or less, this is like the very, very, very brief, the context in what we are working here in Mexico, Tec de Monterrey. Thank you.
Thank you, Roberto.
I don't see another question here in the chat so far. Anyone keen to ask questions? And if not,
Sebastian have a one. 2.
Yeah, I just wrote it in the chat already, but yeah, I can also read it
Sebastian,
out loud.
Sebastian. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Uli. Yeah, thank you very much for your presentation, and I was very impressed about yeah, what you're doing on so many campuses. And so my question is, how do you spread your culture and design thinking culture across as many campuses? So can you talk about some challenges, tools, and that maybe also benefits of being spread all over Mexico?
Yeah, this is a really important question because for us, in the beginning, we have a different experience of design thinking. We have different experience in the School of Design, in the School of Engineering, on the School of Humanities, for example, they have some experience of design thinking. In the main, and the initiative is the reason of the initiative to try to align all this kind of knowledge and experience with different professors. For this reason, for example, Naira is in Monterrey, we are not in the same city. So Naira is in Monterrey, Randall is in Guadalajara, but this is professor of engineering, no, is professor of design. Randall is in Hermosillo, in other campus, he's professor in design. And Baltasar, sorry, I ever confused. Baltasar is in Hermosillo and he's working in design thinking in the north of Mexico. And I am in Mexico City and we are trying to apply design thinking in this region. So we have the same training. We have like an alignment for what is design thinking for us. For this reason, we have the methodology of Idea Tech and follow the same step, follow the same process to ensure that in all the campus, we are following the same methodology. We need to do a lot of stuff more, like include more professor, more alignment for what we are doing in design thinking. But this is an effort and we are following the building across the time, you know. But all the official that we are doing in design thinking, we are using with this team of design thinking initiative. Okay. And the benefits, and we are now doing one of the benefits. Maybe is, I don't know if other of the design thinking initiative you want to talk about. Balta, Randall, did you want to talk about the benefits, Naira?
Sure. Randall, do you want to participate?
No, go ahead, Balta.
Okay. Well, one of the benefits we have spreading out the design thinking methodology, our model, Idea Tech, it's that we function, each one of us, as Alex already mentioned, we function as an ambassador, let's say it like that, and we can spread out the word to our students and to our community, and finally, it gets to make and apply innovation. We among the vision we have in our university, we can apply this knowledge and apply and support some projects so we can make this change. No? I think this could be one of our benefits of being spreading out the word and making others understand what's design thinking. In reality, it's not just a methodology that you can just apply, but you can get some innovation and you can get some other things among this method.
I would like to add thank you, Balta. I would like to add to Balta's benefits. For me, there are two main benefits, and one of them is me, for example, being here. Design thinking as being a tool, maybe aligned to designers, moving over and including all the areas like it's a great benefit where we have multidisciplinary teams working together because each one has a strength, yes, and using the same mindset, the same methodology, you get better results and you can also reach broader, challenges. And the other great benefit for me is the sectors. Mexico is a huge country and it has the industrial sectors are separated per region. And having the 26 campus all over and having people in each campus as representative of the design thinking initiatives helps us to connect also and help several types, from automotive industry, up to food industry and also agriculture. So that is another great benefit of having a vast, diverse team, not only geographically, but also in discipline to participate. I think that's, for me, the two main benefits. I don't know if that's if it was clear, Sebastian, but it's huge for me to have that possibility.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Maria Jose, hello.
Hola, nice to see you. So beautiful to be here, almost as if we were together. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions, but I will start with the first. So I would like to know, and I don't know if you talked about it already, sorry, I was a bit late. How did you adapt your programs given the current circumstances in the pandemic? Were there some tweaks that you did to them? I mean, Corona hit a little hard Mexico, so I was really wondering, how did you do it? I would be very curious to hear. That's the first question.
Yeah, we translate our Canvas and our training for all in using Zoom and Miro. Then we have our main tools. And unfortunately for us, when we have our presential workshops for the companies, and especially, and it's only placed in one city, for example, Mexico City, Guadalajara, or Monterrey. Now with this digitalization, we are open these courses in Spanish, and we have 3-4 generation for people that is really interested to study with us for the language in Spanish. So we have an open courses that we have in Mexico and Central and South America, that they follow us and wanna be in our courses. So here we have a great opportunity, and I guess that this is really good for us now.
Cool, thank you. So you basically use your own platform, if I understood correctly, for digitizing.
Yeah, we could be using Miro, Zoom, and we use some our Canvas, and we use our learning platform, and we continue using this kind of technologies. For our Tech 21, we currently use some of them. We for our classes, normally in the tech, we are using Zoom too. We are using Canvas, and so that digitalization really helped us to improve this kind to keep close to the people.
Cool, thank you for your answer. And I will just ask very briefly. So I was thinking, how do you impact, or how do you enable communities in Mexico that might not have the access to have education that is private, like is the case of Tec de Monterrey, so that you can have like a systemic impact? I would be also curious to hear that.
Maybe Randall can help me, or Baltasar, because they are close more to teach kind of special programs than we have. Or maybe you can, I can ask. No? Okay. Balta or Naira?
I lost the communication. I didn't hear the question. Sorry, Maria.
But I did.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, Balta, I can take the question. I was waiting to see.
And Randall and Roberto too.
Go ahead, Randall. Yeah.
No, go ahead, Robert. If you want to answer it, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. We have been running several funding programs since we are very connected. Every campus that we set in a city is very connected with the stakeholders of the territory. So we are very we run several campaigns with the main companies, organization, and actors in each city, in order to, we are a private university, we don't receive public funds. So we do that kind of activities, and we invest a lot of time on that in order to create funds and scholarship for that part of Mexico that don't have access that couldn't have access to private education, for instance, or private or public. And this program is growing more and more. We call it Líderes del Mañana, is the name, sorry, in Spanish, like Leaders for Tomorrow. And we have been very successful at this point in trying to link these two Mexicos that you know very well. I don't know if Randall would like to add a little bit more.
Yeah, yes, thank you very much, Roberto. I would like to add, Maria Jose, that one important aspect, at least in Campus Guadalajara and the other campuses that are certified as Ashoka U universities, we have programs where students and researchers and professors are involved directly with the communities. The example of the Líderes de Mañana is going straight to the person, yeah, and give them the tools so they can spread it later on. But this approach is also very helpful, where we put our talent and our methodologies at the service of the problems, yeah, those social, economical problems of all these, what we call vulnerable communities. And that's one way that I really like to support. We here, I think each one of us, whenever they invite us to give workshops and preparing these teams that present their projects, and also they go into funding. Yeah, they compete to find fundings in order to really implement their projects. And I really like to do that because it comes from the students. So you're not only just helping the communities, but you're also changing, transforming a different community, because majority of our students are from different social economical levels. So you sensibilizing and you opening windows and doors to possibilities and also to realities and how we can help that. I don't know, I think that's one way we do it, and it works very well.
Thank you for your answers.
That was your questions, or you got some more, Maria Jose?
I want to give space to the others, so maybe Claudia.
Thank you. I think I'm going to be next in line. So also, hi there. Great to see you again. Yeah, just a comment also following up on the questions Maria Jose had. I think we can also, both of us can tell a story how much effort it was to not only digitalize the programs, but also rethink the way we actually run design thinking. So once you kind of, during COVID and also now are really like have no longer the physical space available. So how you can transform that learning experience into the digital space. So that was also great that you could address that. And another note from our side, I think it also in terms of to the other topic gave us a bit more in terms of accessibility, even though we are a private institute at a public university, but we don't really have students fee that are really high. However, attending the programs meant to be on campus, and not everybody could afford spending the money you need for 6 months of paying your cost of living, travel, and so on, to come to Potsdam to be part of that international program. So I think that also offered us a few opportunities in terms of being also more inclusive in terms of people we want to become the future leaders of tomorrow. But now to my question, as you all have also gained lots of international experience, and the design thinking community is already quite diverse and also quite global. So therefore, I'm wondering also in terms of where do you see also main differences, stuff that you, from either cultural or also an educational perspective, do on purpose differently compared to what you've seen as other design thinking practices on the world's outreach?
I guess then one of the main idea for us to travel to visit other universities, have to connect with other people, is to understand the culture of, because for design thinking it's really important, the culture of the country and the culture of design thinking like a group, no? And I guess then we need to just keep in touch with this kind of different communities of different countries, going to help us to be more diversity, to help us for more diversity, and to open the way that we are doing design thinking, because design thinking I need to be improved by the time. During the years, maybe when we begin design thinking, it was different than currently we have now in this time of pandemic, and we learn a lot. So for us, it's really important to keep in touch with different experience, to continue training ourselves to be better across the time, no? And understand the different disciplines that we are using design thinking, because We are now in the School of Design and Architecture, and Randall is in engineering now. But we need to include more people in maybe in engineering, maybe in I don't know, economics,
medicine,
medicine.
Yeah, different perspectives to understand what is we have in common design thinking, but the difference of the background or the experience and the knowledge of these people going to help us to have better, maybe better projects, better challenges, better techniques we can apply in design thinking. No.
Thanks a lot. I could go on, same as for Maria-José, but I also would like to give space to other people. And so therefore, I'll hand it directly over to Linda Hickman.
Hello,
Linda, you're muted.
I will. Thank you very much, Claudia, for handing it over. I have been very impressed. That's the understatement of the year from England. I'm impressed. It's really quite a tremendous achievement. And I'm still thinking about how you get multiple disciplinarians in one institute to even consider working together. We have a lot of pride at LSE of being quite independent, each person. And it's not a multidisciplinarian place other than some of the institutes. And so I'd be very interested to hear a project that would maybe highlight several of the disciplines as well as stakeholders in a community. I know it's kind of asking for something that maybe you haven't thought of, but maybe there's a project that you could give as an example, because I'd like to just have sort of one that I could repeat to others too, to try to inspire them.
Okay, maybe one cross project that we build in a disciplinary way is exactly the building that we create in Guadalajara is the ecosystem that we are following with engineering and School of Design and Architecture. And we use tools of design thinking to build the space. Okay, now it's a huge space. It's like a five levels space and have different kind of labs in engineering, labs in architecture and design. And design thinking is like a lab, a workshop that is like a merge of engineering and design and architecture. So I guess it's a good example of how we can build stuff together to be in a better way for all the community in this region, all the campus downtown. We are working together. But I guess it's a really good challenge to have work together with different disciplines, because everyone thinks different and how we can solve a problem. And maybe we need to hear each one and use a neutral methodology. Maybe it's design thinking that going to help us, because design thinking can use some tools of engineering design, some tools to include the diversity of we have like a school.
Well, it's very inspiring, and I will pass this along and see where we get with it. But I thought that it was interesting also that you had spaces for the different stages. I don't think I've seen that anywhere. Perhaps there are other places that have it designated that way, but that was an interesting point too. So thank you very much. Very inspirational talk.
Thank you. Thank you. Amazing.
Thank you, Linda. And I hand over now to Raluca from Romania.
Hi, thank you. I hope you can hear me okay.
Yeah.
I had to kind of improvise something on my old desktop in the office. So my question, I'm sorry I missed the beginning. I watched it a little bit on YouTube. I'm curious how you get the students to participate, since you don't have certified program yet. I suppose the students participate outside of their bachelor courses, classes. And I come from a university with a lot of fields of study, and we actually managed to get professors and students from different fields quite easily together. But the problem is with the timing, because students' schedules here is really busy. And if you maybe find a free space in engineering students' schedule, then it might not fit with the free space in students from medicine, for example. So I'm curious how you handle this.
Yeah, this is a really good question. And we know that as students of undergraduate program, if you don't have a topic that is related with design thinking, maybe you don't spend time in that because it's not part of your academic program, no? But now we begin, this was a challenge in the beginning, but fortunately, how we have our Tech 21, we have some courses that is related with design thinking. It's not completely a design thinking method, but have some introduction to design thinking and use some tools of design thinking. This is in first years of the program. We have general topics, for example, that all the students must to select and study this one. And one of them is innovation. Innovation one half part of design thinking. So this is one part, and we are using design thinking for the students. Another part, and we are now using design thinking in some project, like a methodology to solve the problem that they face it. And somehow our professors are using these tools. It's not only for a topic of design thinking. It's, for example, for a project and they are developing during the semester or during a period of time, they're using design thinking to solve these kind of problems. You know?
Actually, Alejandro, if I may, I presented a diploma we are implementing that it's called ULEAD, and it's for our high performance students. And we are taking some of our students to introduce them to design thinking so they can solve a challenge among this methodology. And also we have in our structure another academic format, we could call it like that it's called bloque multidisciplinario, or a multidisciplinary block, in which we can take students from different disciplines and we can introduce them to solve their problems or their challenges through this methodology, so they can be aware and they can know how to apply them. So I think this could be a way we could introduce them to design thinking, even if they are from different disciplines.
So thank you very much. We are at the end of the hour now. And I would use the opportunity to give a big hand to all four of you, to Alex, Naira, Balthazar, Randall, and also to Roberto. Thanks for sharing your leadership insights here. Thanks a lot for being with us. And I think, Steffi, do we have a slide to show? I would like to officially end now our session here, but not to forget to point on the number 12 GDTA powwow. Actually, you'll don't find it under the name powwow anymore. It will become the GDTA spotlight number 12 or number 1, but it's the session number 12. We decided to use another name, and we'll have our guest Hoda Mostafa and from AUC in Egypt, and Richard Paris from the D-School in Cape Town. And they will present on July 29th. That will be our July session. And never forget Friday, 5 o'clock on Clubhouse. For all of you who are Clubhouse members, there's the happy hour for global design thinkers, the happy hour for design thinkers also for just 1 hour. And it's always a pleasure to meet people from all around the world to chat about the latest news of the week and all around design thinking. So Clubhouse Global Design or Design Thinking Week is also, there's a club, a Global Design Thinking Club. So please join this. And now I would like to officially say goodbye to our friends on YouTube who are following us, and officially also, I think we stop the recording.